All right, thanks for joining us. Today we're going to talk about EdPuzzle. This is a great way to take a video and chop it up and put in your own questions, comments, and maybe a few other things. So let's get started. I'm going to click on Login, and I am a teacher, and I'm going to use the Google button. All right, when you guys come to this for the very first time, it's going to have some intro buttons. You can pay attention to those. I would recommend that you take a glance at those. I'm going to skip those for right now. And let's just go to what I would call the home of EdPuzzle. On the left-hand side, you guys are going to be brought to a menu that you will either land on EdPuzzle or on YouTube. This would mean that you are searching either the banks of YouTube for videos, or you're searching in EdPuzzle for pre-made EdPuzzle videos, which most of the time are coming from YouTube. So, like I said, let's click on EdPuzzle to see if somebody already has something out there. I'm going to search for fractions. If you're in histories, why don't you search for a history video? If you're ELAR, search for sentences. If you're in whatever you're teaching today, search for that video. And I notice, by the way, when I typed in fractions, and again, I'm in EdPuzzle, I'm looking at EdPuzzles that are already created. I see this video has come up a bunch of times. This fractions of fractions video seems to be pretty popular. Notice that right below my mouse, there's a red pair of scissors. That means it's been trimmed. There's been some personal comments made in addition to the video, the audio that's in the video, and then some questions. So let's just look at this one and we'll dive into that. All right. Excellent. All right, I'm glancing at this to make sure that this is a good video and it meets my needs. And I believe that it does. The very first thing that I notice is there is an audio note. The next thing is there's an open-ended question or a text question, which is what is your name? And then these hopefully are graded, or the correct answer may be marked, so it will be automatically graded. And the last one is another open-ended question. So this is perfect, not very overwhelming, only a couple minutes long. Let's hit use it. All right, so here we go. The very first setting that we come to is the ability to crop this video, meaning we can take out the first 20 seconds or 30 seconds of the video by dragging the bottom pair of scissors down here, if you will. And then this one has been cropped to cut off, looks like it's a total of 3 minutes and 45 seconds. And they've cut it down to 2 minutes and 40 seconds by dragging this other red arrow. Let's call this an arrow. So I'll set that back to 240. So now we have cropped our video. Next up is audio track. I don't ever recommend doing this unless you are wanting to record over the audio of the YouTube video. For example, if there was just a bunch of pictures of a point in history, let's say the Roman Empire, and there was the Colosseum, and it was just some screenshots of the Colosseum. You could talk over those screenshots. Most of the time in this video, there is a teacher that made this video. She's discussing fractions. She made the video. I'm sure she knows what she's talking about. I don't want to overrun or delete her audio and then redo my own audio. That's working too hard. So that's audio track. Next up, I do like audio notes. She has given some sort of introduction over here. Let's listen.
and click allow, and it's just going to record me saying, "What is your name?"
So yeah, I'm sorry, I was kind of talking over that, but you can click here to listen to other people's audio notes. If I want to, I can drag the cursor by using the top half of the arrow and drop it where I want it, and then click on the mouse to record my own voice and insert a comment. When the students get to this point of the video, the video will pause, they'll hear my voice, my instructions, and then they'll continue on. So that's the audio note. Last up is my favorite, quizzes. And let's take a look at the 4 quizzes that are already in this lesson. What is your name? It's a text question. What is the numerator? I can see here, you guys have to look real close, that 2 is the correct answer. It's marked correct. If my students log in correctly using the name and password and they join my classroom, these answers will be graded and I will get that feedback. Now, this works really well on on Chromebooks. If you're on an iPad and you have K1 and 2, we might not be using their login. This might just be informational and you won't get their responses, but they at the time will get that video. It'll pause. They'll see a red answer if they get it wrong, or a red message if they get it wrong. And it'll show them the correct answer. If they get it correct, it'll be green, showing them they got it correct, and then they move on. So iPads, we don't get much feedback unless you are dying to have them sign up into your Google Classroom and use their username and password. Let me know. I would love to help you out with that. The next question is obviously marked number 6 is correct. And then the very last question is an open-ended question. So I'm going to click on save. That's kind of the gist of, before I click on save, that's kind of the gist of EdPuzzle. Let's take a look at one of these before I just move on really fast. Let me drop this right here and hit play. All right, maybe I won't hit play.
Fraction in 2/3 when we were drawing the picture. Okay. All right. So.
All right. Well, I guess my YouTube's not coming through right now. Let's go ahead and click on finish. And then I can assign these to my Google Classrooms once they have been imported. For right now, I'm just going to click on later, and you guys can do this as well. And now that has been added to my content, all right? My fractions of fractions video. It hasn't been assigned to anyone, and I don't have a link to this to send that out. So real quick, iPad people, K1 and 2, if you want to do this without signing in, this is a really good place for us to make a note and teach you guys how to send this out using Seesaw. I'm going to click on fractions of fractions and then click on assign or share. And let's click on share with anyone. And this link that has media right in the middle of it, it says media. That is a great, that link is perfect because it doesn't require the kids to sign in. I know this says sharing with your colleagues. It's a view only link. It's for your colleagues and it's for your kids. All right. So copy that link, throw it into Seesaw. If you're not familiar with that, visit my website, joenerdy.com, and click on Seesaw. And you'll see the EdPuzzle video specifically for this. All right. So for my classes, now I can click on, actually, let's take a pause and let me tie this into another video. Y'all give me 1 second.